need the coins, okay? We need the coins.
That'll be the
They
first
would be
thing
like,
they'll report
you got it.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing they report you on.
Yep.
Right.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Evening Tea with Gail and her girlfriends. I hope you guys, it's almost Friday, so y'all should be real happy about that, because I know I'm happy about Fridays, because some of my really, really good friends and told me that Fridays are the day off. And so thank you, Jesus, for that. So hello, Christian. How are you? Hi. She said hello, all my favorites. Christian said hello. What are you doing up?
I know, Christian.
It's 8 in the morning where she is. She's she I was like, what are you doing up? But
8 in the morning.
It's already Friday morning where she is. Anyway, you guys, Christian supports us, and we appreciate you so much, Christian. Thank you so much for joining Evening Tea. And so it's been a while since we did Evening Tea, ladies, and I thank you guys so much for getting on there. I hope and pray that I had an amazing summer. I know that I did. There was some things that went on over over the summer. I know Lisa had a birthday, and Lisa and Candace had a birthday who's not on here. I know Lisa, myself, Kiki, and Kim, we all celebrated anniversaries. So I'm just giving you guys a catch up, because I didn't realize the last time we was on here was in early June. Did y'all realize that?
No.
I didn't. Yeah. We didn't do none of the summer. Y'all was too busy. Y'all busy people.
We always busy. We always busy.
Y'all busy. Y'all didn't have time for little old Evening Tea. So love all virtual tight hugs. Okay, thank you. So I just want to say happy birthday, happy anniversary. Gil and I celebrated the big 3-5, so I was real happy about that. We was able to hang out with Kiki and Jamil over in St. Martin's, so it was really, really nice and fun. And so I'm happy about that. So happy birthday, happy anniversary. Kiki has a birthday coming up, and Tawan brings it on in before the end of the year. So we'll be having Evening Teas for both of those though. And so Kiki, tell us what you're drinking, and tell us a little bit about what you have going on, please.
Yeah, so tonight, because we just had a great, amazing company-wide retreat for the last 2 days that we were really, really hard in. So I'm celebrating tonight with a passion fruit blueberry lemonade.
Oh, okay. A yike.
It's a little something up in there. No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say there's something. Okay.
It's a little something in there. Okay. All right. And you guys, thank you for joining us, and let us know in the chats where you're joining us from. Kiki, you got to man my other page if you don't mind. So Lisa, tell me what you've been up to, because you've been doing a lot, like a whole lot. So just tell us what you got going on with your media company and all that kind of stuff real quick, and tell us what you're drinking tonight.
Well, actually, what I'm really focusing on lately is the Hidden Treasure Awards that's coming up December 17th. We've locked into a date. So I'm really excited about that. It's the first time I get to recognize some hidden treasures in the community. So I'm really kind of pouring into that. I've made some connections with some other things, and I'm hoping I'll be able to share later in regards to Touched by Dove crafts, because I've been crafting and having some fun. It's snowman time again. So burlap and snowmen, that's just my thing. That's my love. But no, I'm over here just preparing for the award show, and I am drinking my favorite as usual, the Bailey's on the Rocks. So if someone asks, can they have some?
Nope, and nope. All right, Miss Tawan, what's going on? And tell me what you have going on and what you drinking tonight.
Well, I'm gonna start off with what I'm drinking, because that's the most boring thing that's going on. I'm usually drinking some tea lovers, but today I'm drinking some aqua.
That's a good thing.
Aqua. Okay, yes, I'm drinking because I've been drinking tea all day, so now I need to drink some water. Super excited. Next Sunday, the Women Walking in Their Own Shoes will be celebrating 10 years, and everybody kind of knows nothing excites me, but I am excited. I am excited about it. I'm excited that I did 10 years, because it
Yes.
walked away. So I'm just
That
excited
is a huge, huge
to push up to
accomplishment.
10 years. So I'm excited about that, and just the women that are going to come. We have two powerful speakers, but we're going to have some fun. This is a celebration. We're going to be empowered and
Yeah.
equipped, but we're going to have some fun. So that's what I have going
Tell
on.
them where they can get tickets if you still have tickets available.
Yes, so we're trying to at least push out 15 more tickets. So you
Okay.
can go to the Women Walking in Their Own Shoes. That's WWITOS. We will put it in the comments .com. And you can get tickets there. So I will put it in the comments, and we definitely would like for you to come and join us.
Yes.
One of our sponsors, Tea Lovers Cafe, is going to be showcasing 2 new flavors. So we just excited all the way around. Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to put the Tea Lovers Cafe link into the thing. Usually I am drinking Tea Lovers Cafe, but tonight I'm actually drinking some Gatorade. I've been doing physical therapy, and my physical therapist told me that I was severely dehydrated. And I was like, how would you know that from rotating and manipulating and pulling on my leg? She said, because every time I move you crack.
Oh,
She said,
wow.
and that's a sign of dehydration. I did not know. So tonight I'm drinking some Gatorade because I don't want to crack the next time I go to physical therapy. And I only got 2 more sessions. Thank you, Jesus. Because when I tell you, girl, when I get home, I'm telling you, I didn't do the snapback like I did 4 years ago from that first surgery. I mean, I'm doing well. I'm walking. I'm grateful, but girl, bye. I have to come home and take some Motrin and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what I'm drinking, so I won't be dehydrated and falling apart. So y'all ready to get into some tea? What I have going on, let me say what I have going on. Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage 2023 is happening. So I'm excited about that. And so we're going to be in Baltimore for the very first time, and I'm super excited about that. And so and we're at a conference center like less than 2 miles away from BWI Airport. So for you women who fly in, it is very convenient. You don't even have to rent a car because they will come pick you up. So I'm excited about that. We're going to unleash in 2023. And so I'm excited about that. And so again, you can go either to gailcrowder.com or bsbconference.com. So I will put that in the chat as well. And so again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you so much for joining us. And so tonight I want to start off by saying this. Normally, and I'm going to say Gail is very guilty of this, I don't normally vote in any other elections besides the presidential elections. But I'm telling you, please, in November, if you are able to go vote in the primaries and in your neighborhood for whatever, please go vote, because let me just tell you, it is so important for us to get the right people. And I don't care if you're Democrat or a Republican, just go vote, because it's so important, because those people, those frontline people, are going to eventually make decisions that affect us at the higher levels. And I didn't realize that until I really started listening to Lisa when she was talking about her sister was running. And you think, oh, a judge don't affect me. Yes, the judges affect you. They affect at the local level, at the national level, they do affect you. Oh, the sheriff of your town don't. Yes, they do affect you. So all of those seats that we take for granted, please go vote. And that's what I got to say about it. Lisa could probably talk a little bit more about it. For the simple fact is, I had no clue that can literally transform and affect me in so many areas of my life locally here where I live in Maryland. So you want to say anything about that, Lisa?
No, and actually her position, a lot of positions are, they're bipartisan. They're not one or the other, right? Bipartisan. So non-bipartisan. So that's a good thing. But you're right, even in that position, it still affects your community on all levels. So it is important to get out there and make your voice count.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, I never, when the presidential thing, I'm always there. But this time I'm actually going to vote on the local level because it does make a difference. And Absolutely. So I just wanted to go out there and say that. All right. So go vote. Please go vote. Please, please, please go vote because it does make a difference. I wanted to get into some tea. And this is what shocked me. I mean, I seen this on the news and I had to stop it and replay it. Y'all heard of Sheen, the place where you can get like kind of inexpensive clothing. Have you ever heard of them? Right, Sheen. Do you know that Sheen was using a Caucasian lady to sell Afro puff pieces, hair pieces?
So wait a minute, rewind.
Sheen was using a Caucasian lady to sell Afro puff. You know how the little piece, little hair pieces, we can slick your hair back and put a little puff at the top of your head on the side of your head. They was using a Caucasian woman to sell Afro puff hair pieces.
How does that work? Like, was it matching her hair?
She had
no.
But why? Like I'm trying to understand, but why?
Because they really didn't understand. They obviously don't have good marketing. First and foremost, this is a place that sells inexpensive clothes. No, that's what it is. This is so you want me to give? So you want me to really say they ignorant? They didn't give a. They didn't give a.
This is 2022.
Yeah, I know. I know. Okay. They didn't give a darn.
But it wouldn't even be a good sale. Like, did she sell anything? Because I'm thinking.
Oh no, I think they got a lot of backlash.
They got a lot of backlash because
I would think so, because it doesn't even work. It doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And that was the problem, because their thing, everybody's.
But why would they not even know that? I mean, that's like a visual network. It ain't like you gotta talk about it.
See, I have been able to present.
Yeah, you want to present?
Oh, you found a picture?
Yes, Lord, but
I don't know if I can. Oh my God.
Let me see. It's okay. Let me see. Google.
Oh my.
Yeah, but no, seriously, and they got a lot of back, and the one of the spokespersons for Sheen was like, they just wanted to get the information out that they sold those hair pieces, but my thoughts was
it's so bad you couldn't find a black person.
I'm just so scared.
Okay, am I sharing?
I don't know.
No.
Y'all see?
No. Give her permission to share, Gail.
I don't know how to do that on here. I know how to do it on Zoom.
If you go down, okay, go to
present. Okay. Okay. Do I hit share screen, Lisa?
No, I hit share screen. Somehow I need permission.
Where do I give you permission?
Hold on,
under settings, Lisa.
Oh Lord,
yeah.
Girl, we on here.
All right, don't worry about it.
Anyway,
I'm scared.
Y'all can go Google that. Now, if I was on Zoom, I know how to do that because I think Tawan.
Where did you find? You found it in maybe.
Yeah,
but my thoughts is that, like you said, in 2022, it was some African American woman, even if it was one of their employees, or I don't know, that they could have found.
But you got hard pressed that you cannot find an African American woman.
Oh, I see.
You see?
Yeah, y'all can Google it, but I just thought it was a little offensive, and they, yeah.
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Nope. Can the audience see that? I think so, right?
Yeah, they can see it. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
I just think that was an inappropriate thing to do, and I had to rewind that because I was like, I know they had to have somebody of color somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
To put them Afro puffs on them, but again, who am I? Okay. Now I want to.
Yeah, that was just wrong.
I want to move into, and I'm probably gonna get some stuff. These people in ministry. Mm-hmm. Hello, Johanna. These people in ministry. I just over the last couple of months since we ain't been doing evening tea, these pastors and preachers have went off the rackers, however you say it. And I'm gonna start with Miss Juanita Bynum. Did y'all hear that she's charging $1,500 for a prayer intensive 7-week program?
Yes, because if you don't know how to pray, she's going to teach you how to bring down the word with your
$1,500.
Yeah.
To go behind, she teaches you how to pray like she prays.
Lisa and Johanna said, no.
No. Yeah. I look, no, I'm being honest with you. When I seen that, she's teaching she teaches you how to pray, how she prays, and how she goes behind the veil, and all. It's like a program we would do as coaches, and she's charging people $1,500 for that. And she thought that it was okay, and she thought that was cheap.
And somebody's going to pay it.
No, a whole lot of
people did pay it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
That part. That's the part that somebody paid it.
Yeah. No. There's always gonna be y'all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's always.
It's still that's
always gonna be somebody to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
But when I seen it, I you know how I seen it actually on TikTok. She was pitching it. I went back and watched it again because I said, Lord, don't let me be. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't get paid for their craft, but you develop a whole entire program, and maybe I'm wrong, and I'm sure I'm gonna get some on how to talk to you. Am I crazy? Y'all quiet. Maybe
nope.
I'm wrong.
I done made my full sentence.
No.
I think that this is what I think. I think that a lot of times people prey off of other people's scarcity mindset, right? And meaning if I were in this place like, oh my God, I gotta have this specific way to connect to God. You can't really tell me that. You can show me how you connect to God. That's the only thing that I could probably hope to get from going to a conference like that, is that you show me how to connect to God. But that's not going to necessarily show me how I am going to be able to connect to God. Does that make sense? But yeah. I think people have a real scarcity mindset about life. But I like the way Johanna said it. God is God. And your relationship with God is personal to you. And I love this post that Priscilla Shira posted on her Instagram page of this young girl, looked like she might have been in Africa, and she said something like, God don't need God is not a genie. You know what I'm saying? Right. God don't require you to have Gucci. And what turns me off about some of these, preachers and pastors and stuff like that, especially the one who be coming on with all the jewelry and all that kind of stuff that got robbed or we're
gonna talk about him too. He on the list.
To me, that's not of God. Like, I don't have to me, if this is what you're showing me, I can't trust you, right? Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't prosper, but I also don't think that you should be guiding and flaunt that kind of stuff in front of people, because if this is what my tithes is going to, baby, I can keep my tithes in my pocket, right? That kind of thing. So I think that people have the scarcity mentality if they feel like if they don't pay something like this, or they can't connect to God, when actually we can connect to God on our own terms with our own prayer, because God don't, as long as you come into him, you ain't got to be like, oh Lord, holy art thou, hallowed be thy name, thou art. You don't have to do all that to come to God.
Right.
You can come to God and be like, Jesus, I don't even know what to say to you. But right now I'm in pain, I'm hurting. Like, it doesn't have to be a prescriptive way that you come to God.
There's no script, right? There's no script.
There's no script for that thing. Right. And just because Juanita Bauman was able to pray to God and go behind the veil, I might be standing right in front of the veil, and what you teach me might not ever get me behind the veil. Just might not get there by the time I pay $1,500 for this.
Yeah.
And what her calling is not everybody else calling. And I think what it is when people are desperate for
Right.
something. And most of the people that follow her are the people that she probably helped deliver when she did No More Sheets, because No More Sheets was very effective. And a lot of people remember her about that and the teaching that she has. And it was a very good teaching. So I think they think if you're getting ready to teach me prayer, it's going to be something just as powerful as it was when you taught No More Sheets. When No More Sheets was talking about getting rid of them, oh Lord, what's them things called? Them ties when you have sex with people and ain't your
Soul
husband.
ties.
Soul
ties.
Them soul ties and how to strip
Right.
it and let all that go. Do you know how profound that is to everybody who probably heard that and can identify? And everybody can identify with praying. Okay,
Right.
so you praying on people's weakness, and
Right.
they feel like they're really going to get something out of it. But it goes back to what Lisa and Kiki said. If you have a relationship with God and understand that, you really know that you don't even have to go to anybody to get in. You can go to regular old Bible study.
You could sit in your bedroom on the side of your bed
And just
connect with
start
God.
talking. And just start
Right.
talking.
Open your
Because
mouth.
when I go to God every morning at 4:00, I'm not doing all that. I'm just like, God,
But I
this is
guess people
Gail.
don't realize that, and that's what Tawana's speaking to. That if you're lost, you don't realize that is all it can take.
Yeah.
So you're listening to someone who's not suggesting that, they're suggesting this and pay me to do it, and they don't know. So
And unfortunately,
it's sad.
how
It's
she
sad.
prays and how she goes in, she's been doing whatever she does for years, right? It takes discipline to
Right.
go how she goes. To be honest, it really does. It takes discipline. You just don't wake up one day and say, I'm gonna pray for an hour. Because I'm telling you that 5 minutes in, if you ain't disciplined, you be thinking about a hamburger or something. I'm just being honest with you.
Well,
But
and what Tawan said, if it's not your calling and then it's not coming that way anyway. So you can't tell somebody, you just can't control that for somebody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know what that's like when people tell you, I'm gonna teach you how to speak in tongues.
Yeah.
right.
I that bothers me to the core, because what I know and understand, you don't ever have to teach me how to speak in tongues.
No.
If the Holy Spirit want me to speak in tongues, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
That's right. That's
You're
right.
gonna open your mouth and they're gonna
open my
come
mouth
out.
and it's going to flow, and it will be. And if it's authentic and from the Holy Spirit, whoever and where it's supposed to go and be received, they will get it and understand it, and it will be what it's supposed to be. So,
And you won't be able to teach that to the next person
No, you won't be
because
able to.
that was for you.
You.
how about this, Lisa? You won't even remember what you were saying, because
Same.
that's how it kind of works.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
how it
But
works.
so many people misdirect people in that it's all this, I can control how you do this, and people believe it because like you said, I think it's the desperation of wanting, to feel whatever. You know how you see somebody do something a certain way and you want to feel that same thing you want. So you think, oh, you can show me how. And some things that just don't work that way. It just doesn't
And
work
she's
that
been
way.
praying. She's been praying longer than 7 weeks. All right, moving on. Mr. Kirk Franklin. Y'all know he went on to BET and he did his little rap. And then he said, the lion and the lamb is going to bow down to the goat. Now, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I do know what he said was not scripturally sound, because the goat is representative of the devil. And my Lord and Savior, the one I know, is never going to bow down to the devil. The devil is always going to bow down to Jesus Christ. So he was saying that people took that out of context, and that he was sorry that it was delivered that way. And again, I'm talking about all of these pastors and preachers that's off the chain. I don't know if that was a slip of the tongue or whatever, but you rehearsed that, because he's not a rapper that normally just comes off the top of his head. I've never known him to be a rapper. Am I correct? So you had to rehearse that, and somebody that heard you should have known that that was not scripturally sound. So what do y'all think about Mr. Kirk Franklin? And I know he's always done stuff questionable. He's always done stuff that was a little bit more cutting edge, a little bit more worldly kind of moment. But I think that he kind of went a little too far. What are y'all thoughts? No, nobody wants to say nothing. Well, and he's taking flack for when, his son released when, he was talking to his son and cussed his son out, right? Now, when I heard what he said to his son, we have all, and I, as a parent, when our sons have gotten or daughters have gotten flip out their mouth, I have told them what I was going to do to them, and I was letting them have it, right? So I just thought that was a father handling another man that was talking to him crazy, right? That's how I took that. So I was like, okay, I'll give you that, Kirk, because you're human. We all make mistakes. Ain't none of us, all of that. But this one right here, yeah, I can't defend him on that. When he cussed his son out and told him he would put his foot up his so and so, I done that quite a few to Justin, Joshua, Angelique, and Angelina. Yeah, okay, so I can handle that. Because you ain't gonna talk to me crazy and then think that I'm gonna feed you. No, that ain't gonna happen. I don't care how old you are, right? So I get that. So I gave him that because that was a father being a father. But what do y'all? Okay, nobody want to say nothing about Mr. Kirk. Y'all scared of him?
Well, I mean, I don't think that I don't think, and I don't know if this is gonna make sense. I don't think that it was an accident what he said. I think that he's cleaning it up because, of course, you got the backlash from what you said. But I mean, he knew what he was going to say. Yeah, he knew what he was going to say.
But why?
I just think he can't. I just think he can't explain it.
But why? That's
yeah. I don't know the why, but I will say that. Well, this to me is the year of exposure anyway. I don't know why people
go ahead and say it, Lisa.
I don't know why people do a lot of things that they do, but it wasn't an act. I know he's trying to paint it like that's not what I meant, but he meant to say that. Mm-hmm. Now, how he spins why he said that, I can't call that, but yeah, he
meant, and I totally believe what you said. That a lot of these people who are false prophets, preachers, teachers, and all of this stuff is going to get exposed. So I totally agree with that. So next one, Miss Kim Burrell. I'm talking about these preachers and because they're getting exposed. Miss Kim Burrell, did y'all hear when she said y'all should choose your friends, ask them questions? Ask them who they light bill. She said before you could be her friend, you gotta know. Okay. She gotta ask you who your light, who is has your name on, is your name on your light bill at your house, or is it in your children's name?
That is my question of why.
She asked. Why? She said, "Are you living in a trailer house? Are you living in a house? Are you?" This is all the stuff she was saying. Because judgment. She can't hang around nobody that ain't leveling up.
Say it, Lisa. Okay.
She said if you ugly, you can't hang out with her.
If people are just raggedy. People are just raggedy. Raggedy.
And she said she didn't mean it the way people took it.
And here we go with number two. Number two. Another one that didn't mean it.
She said the way she meant to talk, what she was trying to tell the people is that in this day and time, you can't just hang around anybody and expect that God is going to bless you. That you need to know who you're hanging around with. And if you are a person that's not operating integrity, pretty much.
That didn't have nothing with integrity. Everything that you said has everything to do with financial, right?
Yes,
it has everything to do with material stuff. So that didn't have anything to do with character.
I'm confused.
So people just raggedy. People are not.
Said, if you are a liar, then you can't hang around.
What people aren't doing.
There we go. I'm thinking before I speak. Nobody is doing that.
Nobody is doing that.
If we said if you are I don't know, cheating on your spouse or, beating your kids or da 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 da, then you can't be my friend. Or I don't want you hanging around me because of that kind of stuff. But you was like, if you don't drive a Mercedes Benz, if you don't got no red bottoms, you can't hang around me. That's what she just said. That's crazy.
Year of exposure.
But what is more crazy is for you to say, you watch who you be with. Who did Jesus hang with?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm confused because if you start thinking about who the disciples were, a cusser, a liar.
Right.
Come on now. So if
Raggedy
Jesus
Anns
can
and
walk with
Andy.
the least and use him as his sideman, his ride or dies, baby, then you can go with somebody who put the light bill in their kid's name, because right now they're in a different situation, and that's where the light bill need to be, so they can have lights on, so their kids can see and they can see. See, all that, you were just being very judgmental.
Judge much.
That
Yep.
part.
You standing high on the throne, and what has not happened, or maybe what has happened, and we just don't see it, is God has not shown you better than He can tell you.
I was like,
maybe
these
you
preachers
telling more about yourself,
Lisa. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking,
more
Lisa.
about yourself, because people who speak like that to me, they're revealing some personal truths, but they reflecting by making it seem like it's you. But maybe you telling about some of your real business. Maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, but she was talking about, to level up, and I was like, wow. And I mean, if I was that pastor or whatever, when she graced that pulpit and started talking about people ugly, she said, yeah, some of y'all ugly, but y'all got them hats on. So okay.
Raggedy.
She was just going, and she thought it was funny, and I didn't find it funny at all. But anyway, we're gonna end with this last bishop. The bishop that got robbed for $1 million worth of jewelry.
That one.
Turns out that he didn't been to prison for fraud, identity theft.
We ain't surprised.
And they're using pretty much that church, which got small congregation, and people can't understand how him and his wife had over $1 million worth of jewelry that was insured, and now they got some legal things going against him because they're figuring out that robbery might have been a way to get insurance money, but he wasn't even afraid, because not even 2 weeks later, he did a live showing his closet.
Yes, he did.
That was in the back of the church, showing his Gucci shoes and Gucci suits and all of this stuff. And so now he's under investigation.
As he should be.
As he should be as well, because it just don't make sense and it don't add up. So I think he in trouble for some insurance fraud or whatever. But you got robbed supposedly doing a live sermon.
Yeah, I saw the video.
And I saw the one after where he was like, you tried to take my stuff, and he was, but you know what I'm saying? Look at this, Louis, Fendi. Who does that as a pastor?
Johanna said he just choked some woman.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, did you see where he choked the woman? So no. The woman was walking through the church, and
that was him.
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, she was walking.
Well, yeah, what happened?
Walking, like he was just talking, and I think you know how people, when they get the spirit or they feel something, they just start walking around. So she was walking. So she walked she didn't walk that close to him, but past him. He choked her and then said, go call the police. And he said, this is what happened when you get in my personal space. Then came back on to say he was defending himself and his family. Dude, she wasn't close. She wasn't that close enough to be in what we truly call personal space. She wasn't that close. And the way he did it.
And then he choked her.
Well, see, that's even worse.
God.
See, that's even worse.
I saw that. But I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
First of all, why you at his church? Why are you?
He is speaking his why the why girl tonight. Why?
I just need people to use common sense, and I just don't understand what we do.
I'm putting that on the mug.
I want to know why you wearing $1 million worth of jewelry up there to preach to me. That's what I want to know.
See, to me, that's not of God. Now, all that to me, that says you are of the world.
Yes.
Not of God. You are of the world.
So think about this, because all of these things that you're mentioning, Gail, and for me, this is a year of exposure. I think that things are being exposed for a reason. We need to pay attention.
We do.
Pay attention, because we tend to put people on pedestals depending on what they do, who they are. And then when you start to see things exposed, you see anywhere and everywhere, this is what happens. So be careful on where you decide to follow and who leads you, because there's no career, there's no pedestal, there's no stage where exposure happens. So I think this is part of pay attention. Pay attention.
And Lisa, I'm telling you, you are speaking a whole word. She says, go, Johanna says, go to YouTube because she is doing a documentary on Black pastors in their church. I'm telling you, every time we do this, not saying that people can't make mistakes and stuff, but every time these big time people do this, it's a blow to the kingdom. It's a blow to the kingdom. And I'm telling these younger people, like, that's why I don't go to church. That's why I don't go to organized church. And it becomes this thing, and it makes it harder and harder. But anyway, I just wanted to move on. Can y'all believe this? A woman that's been married for 25 years. She has 3 children, and she had never been on Facebook, but she decided to start a Facebook page. This just happened. Started, and she knew her husband was on Facebook. Her husband is a traveling insurance man. He's the insurance broker, so he travels all over the country to the different offices. She Googled her, not Google. She went on Facebook and looked up her husband's name and found his name, a picture. You know how if you type in Frank or whatever, and all of these Franks come up. And found out he was like Frank. I'm just going to use you, Lisa. Frank Washington on another page, but his last name was Frank Crowder for real, because he's married to me, right? And she went to the other page, found out that it says engaged, and he has had another fiance and 2 other kids for 17 years, and she didn't know about it.
Nope.
17. Drink another sip, Lisa. Show.
Nope.
17 years he's been with this lady. They have 2 other kids. He's been living a secret life with a different name for 17 years. They have a house. He got cars with down there with her and everything. And the fiance said they just never got around to get married because he can't, because he's married to me. And they have like everything together.
Then I think that she's colorblind. And I say this because she doesn't know what the color red looks like, because there's no way that she wouldn't have seen red flags all up and down the driveway. There's no way. I'm going back to my sentence with the period. No.
Well, what she said is that, ever since they met, he's been an insurance broker. So she's like, he's always traveled like 2 to 3 days out of the week. So
red flag, throwing in the red flag. She's seen something. She in some major denial. She had to have seen something. She just did not want to see.
I could see 1 or 2, but 17.
I'm like Johanna. Oh, hell no.
She colorblind, because I see red flags everywhere. Ain't no way.
One ain't even.
I'm going back.
Checked out on that one.
Because I'm with Lisa. There in 17 years, there had to be some indication.
She ain't want to see nothing.
Was not something. I don't care how he was moving. Something had to give you a red flag.
Yeah,
and her daughter.
Oh, and let me say this: if it didn't, I take my hat off to him and kudos, because ain't no man.
Well, the lady's daughter contacted the other fiance, and the other fiance, the lady said she had no idea either.
Yeah, denial is a beast.
or he good at his game.
But that's like a genius at your game. Like,
I don't even know. I won't even put this on because I don't believe nobody that. I think denial is a beat. You have to trick yourself, okay? On so 17 years, he ain't that good. They had to trick themselves and not see what they was looking at because there's no way.
I was like, woman intuition didn't kick in for
them. Something red flag. I'm throwing in the flag.
He travel
and
he's always gone.
And I ain't even gonna give him credit for that. He ain't that good. No, they're in denial. I'm telling you, denial would let you go there. Okay, I don't understand. You had to talk they literally had to talk themselves out of what I'm looking at because there's no way that something didn't feel strange or didn't make sense.
That's why I was like, your woman's intuition didn't kick in and be like, but for like 17 years, that's a long, like I said, like he bad, like he real bad.
Yeah, he ain't
and
bad.
You done created got a whole another house, like a whole house.
He ain't bad. They just wasn't trying to see what they saw because they done seen something.
He ain't missed the mortgage payment. He ain't missed none of that.
Yeah, because he conning everybody. But yeah, nah. Nope. I'm going back. Nope.
Lisa said no. I just was, but she has not made a decision.
No. I don't want to hear nothing about no decision she ain't made, and that proves my point. I said denial is a beater. She had made a decision about something. She is in some serious denial.
There's no decision to be made.
And she ain't look, nope, it's not him. He is not that good. That something is wrong with them. Ain't no way.
Well, she hasn't made a decision as of yet. Is she staying or she going?
I cannot.
Has neither one of them made a decision whether they stay?
The other fiance, she's done.
Oh.
The fiance was like, she's done. Once she talked to the daughter and talked to the real wife, right? Mm-hmm. She's done. She's done. But this other lady, I don't think she said she hasn't made a decision, that he's real apologetic. Pop.
Give them 6 months to a year, and they're gonna go back. And they're gonna pick up all them red flags. I'm telling you, give them a year to sit back and say, "Oh my goodness."
For me, it wouldn't have. Yeah.
And they would be gone, but say, you know what? That's what I miss because there's no way. It's that year. They can go back and pick up them red flags because he's been throwing them for 17 years. Okay.
I don't know.
But he done probably called one of them the other one's name. He done probably slipped up a whole lot of times. But when you in denial, you don't hear, see nothing.
I mean, but living that life, like that's as a man, that's like child.
You said he have a third and fourth family. I don't know about that, Johanna.
We might
know about one. I don't know about the other one. All right, moving right along. I got two more things I want to talk about. Y'all, Lisa, yeah, and Kiki, y'all down here with him. Mr. Herschel Walker. Mr. Herschel Walker. Yeah. If y'all vote for him down there.
Man, this was a perfect cup for this evening.
Look, if y'all vote for him down there, something wrong with y'all in Georgia.
Why I live here?
That's where you wanted to go, Kiki.
You wanted to go down there.
That's where you wanted to go.
No, why I live here?
Look, you want to go down there. So I just want to say to you people in Georgia,
a trend has begun in running.
Please
for
wake
any
up.
Kind of office.
Please don't put an ex-football player in there. Please don't. Okay.
Look, I'm telling you, the gates have opened.
Yes, once Mr. Trump decided
opened up.
Run,
the cat. Well, if they can do it, so can I.
I can too. You got Dr. Oz up in Philly, and you got Herschel down in whatever. But one good thing is that I just got to notice that that the Georgia State is going to subpoena Lindsey Graham for voter fraud something. So that's good. But I'm just saying, please, in Georgia, I don't care if you just please don't put him in there. Herschel Walker, don't do it. Okay.
I live in Georgia.
Please don't do it.
What you gonna do with your people?
Kiki, please to your people.
If that happened, I can't stick
Him
by
and his fake sheriff's badge. Please don't do it.
What you say, Kiki? You can't stand by. What you say? I can't do
I
it.
can't stick by.
I can't do it.
God.
Kiki, him and his fake sheriff's badge. Please don't do it. Tell me he gonna hand out. He gonna hand out sheriff's badge to anybody to come to his rally. Stop it. Don't do it. Please, Kiki, talk to your people. Gather your people.
Handle it.
Handle it, Kiki, please.
Oh, Lord.
If y'all in Georgia under the sound of my voice, please don't put her. You can put in it, but don't put Herschel in there. Okay. He was a football great, but politician, he's not. Okay. So please don't do it. Okay. I just had to get that off my chest. And then the last thing I want to talk about was I was watching The View, and usually I don't even have time to watch The View, but the other day, Joy, y'all know who Joy is on The View, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Joy say that she has had sex with ghosts? I want to end that since we're in the Halloween season.
My cup don't say no, but it should.
You can borrow my hair gun. I'm putting it down in the corner.
Come
on. Passing it over. I'm passing
No, they was talking about this lady. They had this lady on here that was talking about she was saying that her house is haunted or oppressed, or I don't know the proper words for that because I don't believe in that, but anyway, her house is oppressed or whatever, and that the ghosts that are oppressing her house are very sexual ghosts, and they have stop using vibrators. Johanna, you are sick. Anyway, she said that these ghosts come and physically, sexually assault her, and Joy said that has happened to her a couple of times. And Whoopi looked at her and said, "What?" And she said, "I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that," or something to that effect. But Joy said this really has happened to her. What is wrong with you, Lisa? Quit being silly.
Joy.
So, do y'all believe that can happen?
No.
Johanna said they using vibrators in the dark and they think it's a ghost.
So let me ask y'all this question. Did y'all see, and I can't think, Lisa, you might know the name of it. Remember Zane came out with a movie. She turned one of her books into a movie.
You're right.
She turned one of her books into the movie, and the girl had a sexual addiction. Can't think of her name. I can't think of the name of the movie, but do you remember the scene? Because your imagination is very vivid. Your imagination can make you feel and think some things. Okay, this is just follow me where I'm going. So in one of the scenes, she was in her office and she was remembering the sexual encounter that she had with somebody.
You're talking about with the girl from Tyler Perry's movie?
Yes. Why Did I Get Married? Yes.
I saw that movie.
She was literally in her office, throwing herself on the desk, reliving the whole sexual scene because of her imagination. So I'm going to have to just stretch this and say, maybe she was imagining having sex, and it, she thought it was with a ghost.
But Joy got a whole husband.
She didn't say she had a ghost. She said she had sex with the ghost, not her husband. So the husband is not,
but I'm saying she don't have to imagine it.
Maybe he wasn't home.
Maybe right. She didn't say he was there when it happened. She didn't say he had it with them. And he did, and she didn't say it was pregnant.
Look how Kiki looking.
I'm just trying to help you out because I don't even understand the foolishness that was just.
Maybe her husband wasn't on. He might have had a business meeting that night. I don't know.
Hey,
no, she said a few times.
with his other family in another state. That's why
She
she
said
was
a few
mad that
times.
you
She said a few times.
Cut the food.
Okay, well, I mean, her husband has more than one meeting, right? Maybe.
Don't
Yeah.
do that, Lisa.
He's
You
with
you
the
know
family
it.
on the other side of town. He's with the other family on the other side of town. While she's
Okay.
No,
Is there
that's
any-
not the same. Girl, you silly.
No, I'm saying that's why he's not there. when
you
she's
know
at-
what? That's just a scary thing that Joy would even say that out loud, because then it's kind of like how does that work? Like,
Well, first of all, credibility.
how does that work? And
Not
she's
gonna
a
feel
comedian,
like-
for goodness sake. You know, she say a whole bunch of things, and I'm like, if y'all believe what Joy is saying right now.
Johanna said her husband was the ghost.
I was thinking that. Maybe they had some wine like earlier that evening.
I don't know, but she said it happened to her a few times. I just was like, this is strange. It's like you said, Lisa.
how
I
was
think this is the space where people gonna be revealed for their shenanigans and all that the evil that they.
Trying to
No,
tell
this
you.
is really some crazy
But she
stuff.
probably really believes she's having sex with a ghost, though, for real. I mean, she said it out of her mouth. So she
People are not thinking before they
speak. Yeah.
She
Okay.
ain't got to tell all your secrets.
some
She could
kind
have
of
kept that one to
experience.
herself. She could have kept that to herself.
She should
Yeah,
have.
and that's why Whoopi said, I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
I don't need to hear nothing about your bedroom shenanigans with a ghost.
Well,
Keep
but
that
Whoopi,
to
she
yourself.
probably thought Whoopi could understand, because you remember in that movie, Whoopi.
Oh,
Oh God.
So maybe she thought she could
No,
understand.
Patrick Swayze
Oh, that was a good
ghost
movie.
right
That was
now.
a good movie. That was a good movie.
Patrick Swayze that went on to heaven, whatever. He is a ghost. So he was a ghost in that movie.
Oh my.
Stop. No, I'm just saying.
She done brought the past to the present. She done brought the past to the present. He is a ghost.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
Patrick Swayze gone on to glory. Like, yeah, wherever, I'm hoping to go on to glory. Yeah, I don't know.
Johanna said the black man is the real ghost.
I just like I said, I wanted to end on that. I have one more about Tom Brady and Giselle, but I don't even want. I don't even want to fool with that one, because girl, they
in your
crazy.
wheelhouse. Go ahead.
Well, people, I have been asked about them, and I can see her side, and I understand, just talking to the men that in my life, why he continues. My thing was, he is an amazing football player, right? But he also had told his wife that at a certain period of time that he was going to stop. He was going to be home. He was going to be a part of his children's life, growing up, helping them grow up, be a husband, not travel, and do all of these things. But he went against that. And so people are saying that she's not being supportive. But also, I think as a wife, if I had a husband that was an athlete, right? And every time they hit that field, it's a chance that something could go wrong, right? And he, he's not young, like a spring chicken or whatever. And it has been shown that the longer that the body takes those hits, and they get, can get injured and all those kind of things as they age and mature, it affects us no matter what, right? And so her thing is that when he said that he was leaving for one at the top of his game, and for two, he was relatively healthy without any injuries, and that they could come together and enjoy their life for the rest of their life, right? But he went back and played, and so everybody's upset with her because they're saying she's not being supportive, and now that's affecting him on the field. Well, I can look at it from a wife's point of view. If my husband was at the top of his game and my husband was healthy, I would want to have that quality of life with him, being that most of his life was spent on, our marriage was spent on a football field, and I raised my kids pretty much alone. Granted, they're wealthy, so they probably had nannies and all those kind of things. But she said her boys at this time are at critical ages, which they are. They're going into their teenage years, and they need their father. And he has done everything and accomplished every goal that he said he wanted to accomplish. So I totally agree with her. Of course, my men in my life are saying, well, Gail, it can make him be depressed and make him do all of these things if he's just sitting at home doing nothing. I'm like, he's Tom Brady. He can
do
open
whatever he
a
wanna do.
football school. He can be a commentator. You name it, he can do it because he Tom Brady. So my thoughts is that he could still be a part of football, but not have to be playing at that level and leaving his family. And I can understand how she did it. Now, am I wrong about that? Because a lot of people
doesn't it become if he said that that's what he was going to do, and they made that decision as a couple, then to me, if he kind of defies what he said, now he's moving in selfishness, because
Correct.
it's not about what they discussed and what they chose for their family. Now it's just about what he wants because that's what he wants. That to me is what makes that not cool.
Yeah.
Because if you all came up with that for very good reasons, why? Because I mean, being a football player and the concussions and the things that they go through with their body, it was a smart decision. But then if you decide to flip it, now it's a selfish move because it has nothing to do with you all as a couple. Now this is all about just you.
And all about what you I'm not mad at her. I think she took a stand. And she's able to take that stand. A lot of women wouldn't be able to take that stand, but she was a multimillionaire before she got with Tom Brady, right? And so at the end of the day, I think that she needs to she knows her worth and she's standing in that. Right. And they're saying, well, her not supporting him is affecting him on football field. No, her not supporting him, letting him know that he needs to sit his behind down and he should have went out on top. And now he getting racked up because that line ain't the line that he used to have backing him where he was untouchable.
So here's what I find interesting. Why is it now her fault?
That's what I don't get.
That he, that's interesting to me. Like
football people who football fans get on my
because it's selfish on their part as well. Because now you've made her the reason that he ain't doing. It couldn't possibly be maybe because he's not catching. None of that crosses your mind. It's all her fault. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, because see, he not getting the passing yards or whatever.
That has nothing to do with him. It's all her.
Yeah. Well, it's time for him to retire.
Right.
Well, he retired for 6 months and then came back, and that's what made her lose it. And I don't blame her. They said she went off, and I would have went off too, because you said this was your last season. You retired, you went out on top, you won the Super Bowl, you did all of this, and you go back. Oh
and she supported him that whole time. So how you gonna now say that? Just don't make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think though. So I agree with anybody that transition is hard, right? Like transition is super hard, especially for football players. Like I do know for a fact that when football players and any athlete per se, not just a football player, when they
transition at that level, because he is at that level,
right? When they transition from that, it is hard. They go through, and a lot of times their marriages and stuff don't make it. Like you can even think about like Shaq. All that, right? Like they go through it so bad, but yet and still, I don't fault her for that. I fault him. Right. If you my husband, we made a pact. We in this thing together, and this is our intimate, decision together. And you decide to go back and do that, then you are choosing that over what we decided to do. And I understand that you feel like you need to do it, but you're not going to be there. So you're still not going to be there much longer. Right. So you might go back. What you're going to be good for? Another 6 more months, a year. In that time, you're losing me. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for you to go back for 6 more months, a year, whatever you have it, to have lost what we had and what we decided on? And for me, you make that decision. I'm like, dang,
that's selfish. That's selfish.
And what Johannes just said, one hit, he could die. One hit, he could be paralyzed.
Which was always the case, right? That was always
the case. Always the case.
But now he knew that it was be a transition. So to me, what you should have been doing maybe is putting some things in place to help you get through
because
that
it's not about the
transition.
money. It ain't like he got let
Right.
me do one more season so we can buy this car. No, it's not about the money. And I understand he loves the game, but you can transition. It's been many of the great players that transition into commentators. They own they you know, if he said Tom Brady said he holding a football camp, how many people are gonna sign their babies up just because of who he is?
Well, but she supported him all this time, so it's like you forgetting how long he's been playing and how long she's been right there by his side. They made a family decision that there would be an end point so that she can also enjoy him with that same energy.
Yep.
And now he decided to give that away to the same people that she's been sacrificed for all of this time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think that it became a selfish move, and you no longer made a decision based on the family. You made it based on what you wanted.
And I totally agree. But like I said, you know, everybody's saying that she's, you know, with him being stressed all out, that it messed up his game and all this kind of stuff.
Now she get all the credit now, right?
I say good.
Well, was she at fault for him winning all the time? I mean, did they blame that on her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Give her that credit too, huh?
Yeah, if you're gonna blame me for him not doing well, blame me for him doing well too. Okay.
I was there during the whole thing.
That's right. Ask me what I was. Ooh, girl, what would you doing? Do that. But now that he's not that's crazy.
I wonder, did they really talk about what life after football would really look like for him and how the adjustment would be? Because most of his identity is in being Tom Brady, the football player. And while, yes, he probably does have a couple of opportunities, don't know if they came running down to him and say, hey, here you are, or don't. But
you have enough money and enough clout to create.
But it's not about, but you can't keep talking about money when your identity is tied to something. Money doesn't mean nothing. That's who he has been seen as a person, and that's how he relates. And that's something he has to learn to attach himself from. And I'm telling you, in that 6 months, something did not connect right for him, because the way he has been with his wife all these years, for you to really defy, to go against what you said that you were willing to do, there was a disconnect somewhere. And I just think in his identity, he probably lost who he thought he was. And of course, she's not going to see that because she didn't identify as Tom Brady for all those years. He did. So, and I'm not putting any blame on her. He made a decision with her that he forfeited on, period, point blank. But I just wonder, was there a lot of conversation? Because as Kiki said, that is very hard, especially for athletes. And this particular athlete, who he is and who he has been over, let's just think the last 5 or 10 years, that's very hard to separate. And we know this, everybody on here know, when you ask people, who are you? The first thing they tell you is what they do.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the first thing they come out. So who is Tom Brady? He is a what they win? 2-time, 5-time Super Bowl ring wearing football player. That's who he is. That's where his identity is tied to. His identity has not been tied to wife, to being a husband and father. It really has been tied to being a football player, and which is unfortunate.
Go ahead, Lisa.
But if they had that conversation, at least to decide that this was the end point, I guess I feel like that was the moment where those kind of things should have been put in place. Like, okay, so what does this look like? You know, what are you thinking about you want to do? Now, whether they went that deep with it, but on some level, because people have done it before, he can even talk to people who have, you know, retired and moved on to other things. But I'm like, did you try? Did you, you know, I'm like curious, did you try, or did you just kind of say it? It made her happy, but for real, you were really kind of on the fence whether this is really what you wanted to do or not. And then when it really happened, you figured she supported me all this time, you might as well just continue to do that. But then it still is, you know, kind of selfish. But I mean, I would hope that maybe
Johanna said he needs Jesus.
He needs you.
And
He could
he
just
does,
entertain the thought of figuring out how to make this happen, because he also got married. You know, like you just gonna throw all that to because this is how you relate, because you should have been relating as a husband as well, because even though you are a football player, you have been a husband too. So
And a daddy.
But I'm not saying that he really wasn't, because he's always gotten kudos for being a family man and what their relationship and things be. But I'm just saying, when your whole identity is tied into how his identity is, that just has to be a hard transition.
And
Not
you're
making
right.
excuse
Like
for,
I
because
said,
he made a pact with his wife. Again, he made an agreement with his wife that he did not honor. So now you're getting the consequences of not honoring the decision that you made. But I also know that it's also very difficult for somebody in that position, because I talked to 3 people today, and when I asked them who were they start running down what they do, and I'm like, and I still don't know who you are, but I do know what you do for a living and with your professions.
And I get that, but
You know?
I get that, but I'm wondering, like, has he thought about the fact that it had to be hard to be a football player's wife?
I'm sure.
And not know when you were going to get that call to say he's been hit in the head and now, or he's paralyzed, or he's in that. Is he thinking about the sacrifice she made for all these years, and now you're kind of forcing her to sacrifice even more? Yeah, he
probably did, Lisa. He just was selfish in his decision. And see, let me say this. Let me be very clear. People do this all the time. They take for granted and think people will never leave, like there's no end.
That's true.
Like
That's
they
true.
always act like people, like there's not one thing that could push Kiki over the edge and just say, you know
She
what?
be all right. Yeah,
That
she
was
be all right.
that's the one thing. You done took me too far now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know I took this for 25,000 years, but I'm not going to do it for 25, for 26. Okay.
I need for that lady with that 25-year marriage and the 17-year, I need for her to go over the edge. But anyway, ladies, I just want to say thank you guys so much for getting on here for evening tea. Lisa, please put in the chat on how is this can you register for
the Hidden Treasure Awards? Yeah, we're gonna be putting out some information on how to be a vendor,
okay,
and how to come and celebrate those awardees. So
okay, so please we'll keep you posted. And you say that's in December, so we'll have another evening tea before then, so you'll have more information. So y'all make sure y'all follow Lisa for that. Tawan, did you put the I think Kiki or somebody put the she only has 15 more tickets and she will be sold out. So, and that's this Sunday. She's celebrating 10 years of women walking in their own shoes. And so make sure that you go and support her. Kiki, what you got going on? Lord have mercy.
So we just opened up our premier community called Happy Women Lead for women in leadership. So if you're a woman, career professional, woman in leadership, this is a place where we support women who believe that they can be happy while still having a loving family and succeeding highly in their career. And so if you go to happywomenlead.com, we are a beautiful, thriving community of women leaders who are leading at high levels.
I love it.
Earring just fell off. That means I'm past my bedtime. Anyway, and you guys, is
that the sign, or is that
y'all know I'll be
so?
Y'all know my earring fell off. That was like, Gail, get off of here right now. But anyway, and so y'all know about BSB. BSB coming in January the 20th and the 21st. I would love to have you guys. I love you guys. And again, you guys, thank you so much for getting on here. And hopefully you guys got some tea from us and enjoyed yourself and everything else like that. See you guys next month with that.